Be a voice.
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 Visit WisconsinVoices.org.
Visit WisconsinVoices.org.
Visit WisconsinVoices.org.
And learn more on how to be a voice with Wisconsin Voice.
Our gala is 1 week from today.
Yay!
And y'all, it's getting close to the time that we have to close so everyone will, if you want a ticket, you better go in there. The registration, it's at the Bavarian Beer House. You can go to our website, wisconsinvoices.org, click on our second Be a Voice Gala, and you can click on register, pay. It's a great time. We're giving 4 awards away. The Protecting Democracy Award, the Building Community Award, the Teaching Advocacy Award, and then we also have one award that we give, and it's called the Community Hero. All of those are people who have worked with our organization or a partner, or just people who are not really you don't see them getting all these awards. You don't see them getting the accolades that they should be getting, but they are a fierce and force to be reckoned with within the community. So we're going to try to, next Friday, we're going to try to have them on the show so they can talk about it and talk about their organizations and what they do. LaToya.
Yes.
You were busy yesterday.
Yes.
What was you doing yesterday?
Oh, a lot of work. The main thing is the block captains. It's an important program that we really want to accentuate in our community. We want to build political power. So in every community is somebody that know everybody. They know who moved in, who what gonna do what, how they gonna do it, when they gonna do it. So we want to build leadership within those people in the community to build political power, to let these legislators know we ain't playing no games. If you're not thinking about our community and listening to the voices in our community, then we building political power to get you right on out of there and get somebody in office that really is going to represent us. So, and rapid response for community events that's going on. We host pantries, so we can tell people when to come in and pick up food for their families and all. So it's a lot that entails behind that block captain program.
And if you wanna be a part of that block captain program, I would ask you to email partners, PARTNERS at wisconsinvoices.org.
Mm-hmm.
And you can say, all you have to do is write in there, my name is such and such, this is my phone number or my email address. I would love to be a part of your block captain program, because every block needs a captain.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of blocks all over Wisconsin or Milwaukee and Milwaukee County that we need to hit. So just being part of that. Brian,
Yes.
after you slid back in here from your weekend in Colorado, what have you been up to?
Well, this week we've really just getting back and tapping into outside of the partnerships that we're bringing in. It seems like that's never ending, and a fun process is just going into the partnerships and reaching out to some of the ones that we've already had and just reestablishing anybody that we already working with or currently working with now. Just know that myself, LaToya, Tamika, and even Joe, so he can get to know everybody. We'll be reaching out to see how we can connect and revamp our relationship this year. Outside of that, we just
build block captain partners.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. Because a lot of our partners stay in little nooks and crannies of the city, and we definitely know that that person that's gonna reach out and connect when it comes to getting the information. One, to come to an environment to get information about election and election officials, and also finding individuals in that community that are like, yeah, I'm that guy on the block. You know, if I was, for example, Dante, he's a good person that we will go with for his area off of Southside. He stay right off of Hope. That area, he'd be a good person for a black captain for that area. So, and even his next door neighbor, great guy, they're really involved. And even before he figured out that there was a black, it was, what do you call it? Like a community, what do you call it? A black party or whatever. What's the group called?
Community brainstorm.
Not a community brainstorm. You just know somebody listen, the people in the neighborhood, the black captains, or not even the black captains, but it's the, a whole HOA type of.
Oh yeah, like the homeowners program.
Yeah.
They know everybody.
Oh yeah, or just something like that. So they already got something going on over there, something like that. So Dante was trying to get that started. So he'd be somebody that'd be great for a block captain. So working with Latoya this week with figuring out block captains, something else we did. Outside of that, it's time to continue the search for auction items, connecting with individuals, reaching out to our people who will be involved with some of our auction items as well. So that's what's
send that request out there, Brian.
Yeah, I will. So anybody that may have any items that you may want to, anybody you want to promote yourself, actually, this would be a great way to promote yourself. If you got any items that you like, hey, I sell this, or I got this item, I want to get my name out here. Get a good way to do that is talking to myself, Latoya, Tamika, Joe, Nicole. Shout out to Nicole and everybody else on the team that can assist us, with getting you recognized and getting us auction items to donate. Reach out to myself, Brian, at WisconsinVoices.org. That's it. So it's been a smooth but fun week as always.
This is Joe.
So I think the most exciting thing this week has been the start of early voting. We saw early voting start on Tuesday. And so just to date, in the first 3 days, we've had 1,036 in-person voting. We've had 41 registrations and 280 absentee ballots dropped all in the first 3 days. So all want to see that momentum start, continue to build, and folks get out there and early vote. It looks like the one on Capitol Drive and 60th is one of the most popular places. It's been
Always is.
It's been really popular. So, get out there and vote and let your voice be heard.
You notice that, like he said, it's one of the most popular places, and they tried to take it from us. And we got out there as a community and really showed them that we need a voting place there. So figure it out.
And that was spearheaded. We want to give recognition. It wasn't us. It was Pastors United and Souls to the Polls who really pushed that narrative and saying that, making sure that we had a polling place representation here.
Yes, you are correct. And they do amazing work, and they're one of our partners in the community, and keep their ear to the ground on what's going on. Definitely.
Well, we're going to start off with one amazing woman. She does some amazing work. She does her work is more it's sad. If you have to have the information that she provides, it's usually a trauma. It's usually something tragic, but she is here to help you through this. I'm going to let her introduce herself. Go ahead.
Good morning, guys, and thank you for having me on. I'm Janice Gordon from Victims of Milwaukee Violence. And what I do at Victims of Milwaukee is I assess what's going on when I get the calls in, and then I try to find resources for the family. So I'm a nonprofit and have been operating since 2015. And I take, when your loved ones are affected by Milwaukee violence, or someone is affected by Milwaukee violence, you give us a call. Look at my website, victimsofmke.com. You can like me or follow me on Instagram and on Facebook, Victims of Milwaukee Violence. But we are out here helping you guys walk through the madness that you're dealing with in Milwaukee violence, when you're dealing with Milwaukee violence.
She is one of the partners that we love to have. but I wish that her services wasn't needed. I'm glad she has it. We're going to ask anybody who wants to ask our questions. It's 414-444-5250. Miss Janice, how did you start your organization? How did you get into it? You know, what was this? I wouldn't think, oh my, we do fun, we do all these organizations, but it's like, what made you think that this was something that was needed?
I had to say, Lord, help us. So I'm a registered nurse by profession, and I take care of children who have like tracheostomies, ventilators, live on machinery. That's what I do. And I was in the midst of revamping my house to make daycare for these children when God stepped in and said, this is what I want you to do. I didn't want to at all. But once the craziest thing in the world happened, my friend gave me a free office. A lawyer gave me free furniture, the best desk and furniture I've ever seen in my life. UWM gave me 2 computers for $100. The ProWeaver gave me cards, brochure, and websites for $300. And here I am sitting in the whole office wondering, what am I supposed to do? Had no clue. But people started walking in the door. I don't know how they knew I existed, but from the first person that walked in, I was in. That's it. So since then, what I do is I research resources in Milwaukee, even outside of Milwaukee, to make sure that I can cover some of the things that people need when they are dealing with violence in Milwaukee. So your loved one, someone has been killed in Milwaukee, there are not a whole lot of resources to pay for your funeral. I advise strongly that we should start planning for our funerals like we plan for our births. We have a whole baby shower, gender reveal. Let's plan for these funerals. Let's call me if you need some help finding someone to try to find a plan that's going to cost you less than $20 a month if your health isn't so bad. Let me get all that out. But it'll cost less than your fingernails and your hair. It really does. And we really need to do better about planning, because it doesn't make sense that these people are dying like this. And these are our children and our children's children. Lord, help us. I have so many children that I had to help them. I talked to a lady the other day, her 10-year-old was shot in the head. This is what we're doing in Milwaukee. It doesn't make sense that we can't even take care of the needs of our own family. I'm not saying reach out and do what I'm doing. Just do what you need for your own children. Some of these Prudential or Globe Life, they have grandparents plans where the grandparents can put their kids on a plan for $5, $15. There's so many resources out here. Give me a call. victimsofmke.com. Email me, text me, do anything to get in touch with me, and I will hook you up with some of these resources. It doesn't make sense that we can't bury our own children.
One of the things that I just that we need to address is the actual violence. There are so many organizations and so many different agencies who are trying to address it, but as people who live in the city, who we have to do our own work. We have to see where our own kids are. We have to try, and if you need help, reach out to get that help.
Right.
If you need a babysitter, maybe, call Wisconsin Voices, because we might have a connection with
I was going to say, I don't do babies.
Oh, no, but I'm saying we might have connections that, to a organization that helps. You never know what resources are out there unless you ask. And then don't be ashamed to ask for the help. Because all of us have needed help from time to time. Every last one of us. Callers, if you have any questions for Miss Janice, 414-444-5250. Miss Janice, do you take donations?
I do take donations, and please and thank you. Because we're in the office, we're a nonprofit. We are not, I really have to hustle to make money come into that office to provide the staff and the resources that go out of that office. We also do grief support, which is something that is so not big in our community. I'm not sure why, but I think some of the families that we're dealing with right now are learning and finding that it is so helpful to be in a group of people who understand
Yes.
where they are and what they're talking about. So that we are also doing grief support.
Well,
You do amazing work.
she has been, I think she was one of the first people I signed when I came on as well. But she came in like guns a-blazing. This is what we can do. This is what I have to offer. So she is out here day and night taking calls. If we kind of connect with or do what we have to do as our families, we wouldn't see so many GoFundMe's to try to bury a child or bury a loved one. And y'all know y'all be talking about him like, oh, they doing a GoFundMe. But remember, think about it. If something happens to your family, are you going to be able to
Drop that 10, 15,000.
Yeah. How much was that?
10, 15,000.
Is that about it, Miss Gordon?
Another thing what I do is I just look at all of the funeral homes, and this is what the main piece. We need to be informed. When your loved one or someone you know is killed, murdered, they are at the medical examiner's office. A lot of people say, well, send them here or send them there. When you send them here and or there, when they get in that transportation, that's $700-800 right there.
Yes.
When they get to the funeral home that you chose, there's another charge right there for the embalming.
For storage.
So when you walk into that door, you already have a bill. My urge to the families and loved ones is call those funeral homes first. Talk money before you send them anywhere, before you send your loved one anywhere, because it's crazy that you walk in there and you got a $10,000 bill. Of course, this is their job. We expect them to do their job. That's how they make their money. But I have seen funerals completed for $5,500, and that is a cremation, but a lot of time people don't want to cremate their loved ones. You need to know that a funeral is going to cost you at least $4,500, and a burial is going to cost you at least another $3,000 to $3,500. So that's what you need to come with. So yes, you're talking about the $10,000, but that's a very cheap funeral.
Yeah, of course.
That's a very.
I learned the hard way with my mom. I sent her to a funeral home, I'm not naming them, and literally had to pay for her storage, for them storing her body. They hadn't even embalmed her. They just was storing her until we decided, and they seen her insurance policy. So here, I'm gonna say that because people got to be aware as well. She had an insurance policy, but because they're trying to make money, when they see how much those insurance policies is, they're going to bring out that binder to cover it.
Miss Gordon, can you tell us your website again?
My website is victims with an S of mke.com.
Join us February 16th at 5 at the Bavarian Beer House for our Be a Voice Gala. Join us for a spectacular night as we gather to highlight the efforts and future of our community. Visit wisconsinvoices.org to learn more.
Catch Wisconsin Voices, Be a Voice Radio, every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday at 11 a.m. as we focus on community partnerships, voter education, and long-term collective impact for all Wisconsinites.
You're listening to Wisconsin Voices, Be a Voice Radio. Follow us at BAWI Voice and learn more at wisconsinvoices.org.
Joe, what do you know?
We have a guest today. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Oh, yeah, of course. My name is Brandon Williford. I'm a candidate for Milwaukee County Supervisor. District 18, so far northwest side of Milwaukee.
Oh, wait a minute. Let's say that again. Okay, I think you had to say it a little bit louder with something in your chest. In your chest. Let's try that again.
Yeah. So my name is Brandon Williford. I am from far northwest side of Milwaukee, currently running for Milwaukee County Supervisor over on that side of town in District 18.
Thank you for coming to our little abode. We're going to talk about, you and why you're running. But I ask every candidate this. What's the job of a county supervisor?
Yeah, so the job of the county supervisor is to handle all of the quality of life services up in Milwaukee County. So they kind of operate as like a legislative arm of the state, which is pretty interesting because they kind of have to do things based upon getting approved by our state legislature. So it's a pretty interesting job, I would say.
Wow, you use the words that I always use when I talk about the county, because it is the quality of life issues, your parks, your health, social services. Thank you. I mean, hey, I could give. Let's talk a little bit about your background.
Yeah. So again, I am a longtime resident of the far northwest side. I grew up in Milwaukee. I went to school at Milwaukee Morse Marshall. It was a combination 6 through 12 school, and then it actually recently just got split up. So, and then I got my degree from UWM in philosophy, political science, pre-law. So, yeah, it's just a little bit about me and the things I'm doing.
I think you're on the board of one of our partners, Milwaukee Turner. Is that correct?
Yeah, as far as work goes, I'm a proud member. Actually the youngest member in Milwaukee Turner's history for the Milwaukee Turner's board. So yeah, it's been existing for 170 years, and I'm honored at 25 to be the youngest member of that board.
So this is the ballot, the voting. People should be voting for you now if they want to vote for you. Early voting started last Tuesday. This past Tuesday.
Get out there and vote.
So if you like them, get out there and vote. What are your issues? I mean, so there are so many different things that the county does, but if you can narrow your top issues, what would they be?
Yeah. So the big things that I'm focused on, right, is investing in our county parks, making sure they're being maintained and they're accessible and they're safe. I also want to invest in our county transit system, making sure people have access to all the economic hubs in our county. And so sorry about that. And I also want to invest in our senior centers, make sure that we have good quality services in our senior centers and that they expand good programming for our seniors to increase their health outcomes.
One of the things that you talk about is our parks. We look at the differences depending on what side of town you are on the parks. If you're on the Brown Deer Park is one of our most beautiful parks. Half of my constituency as an alderman is in Lincoln Park. But there are so many other parks that we don't even know about that are county parks. How do you go about just trying to get them to have some attention?
Yeah. So I think the biggest thing, right, is to invest in like county attractions to make sure that people are drawn to our parks. Also to make sure our parks are again safe. So we have investment in our park rangers.
What's a park ranger?
So a park ranger is kind of like a sheriff, but for the park, right? So they oversee everything up in the park, making sure everyone follow all the ordinances for the parks. So that's the biggest things that they do. They also promote safety for our parks as well, which I think is super important. But yeah, so as far as just getting people attracted to our parks, I think we should, do things like find ways to get swimming pools or even just build up our playgrounds. Because there's some areas in our city where, like you mentioned, our parks aren't really up to par. And I think that we have a duty to kind of address those things.
I think you have two other candidates and you're actually running against an incumbent. Most people do not run against incumbent. What made you decide that this was the time to run?
Yeah. I feel like in that area, again, I've been over there for my entire life, and all of my friends are there, all of my family is there. And, I feel like I understand the issues that matters most to the community. And I believe with working with the members in my community, I can address those issues and provide meaningful solutions. So that's what kind of prompted me to run. Because there's a lot of, again, opportunities for growth on that side of town for parks and transportation and senior centers. So.
Oh, I can't believe you're so young, and I'm actually proud that you're taking an initiative to be part of the community and being part of the growth of it. How did you get even interested in wanting to do this?
Yeah. So for my day job, I'm actually a full-time community organizer. So and I've been community organizing since I was in college, since I was 19 years old. So it's kind of something that is the most familiar to me. This is it's pretty much all I know, just being a community advocate. So I don't know. I guess it just kind of naturally happened to follow along into this path.
Natural. Usually what happens is you do something, you stumble into it, and then you just don't get out of it. You graduated with a degree. What was your degree in?
Yeah, I have a degree in philosophy, political science, pre-law. So yeah, I'm a big nerd when it comes to reading a lot of books. So
We thought that's why we were getting along so well out there, is because we're both into politics.
Joy, you calling yourself a nerd?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, if you dug into my personality a little bit, there are some identifiers that would be labeled as a nerd.
Latoya is, kind of a cool breeze nerd. Brandon, I know you've worked with a lot of youth, and that is one of the things that I know you from. Can you give us a little bit about like the work you've done with youth and trying to build that up?
Yeah, so while in college, I created an organization called Students of Color in Academic Life, or SOCIAL for short. And with that organization, we did a lot of things as far as mentoring and tutoring minority students, at first at UWM, and then we kind of grow larger to the greater Milwaukee area. And I'm proud to say through that organization, we were able to do fundraising for not just for school supplies, but also for winter coats and winter hats as well. So that was kind of the way in which I've been working with youth. And we've been doing that for about 6 or 7 years now. So
I know you kind of want to be a role model for youth. When I was setting this interview up, I briefly spoke with you, and it's hard for, Gen Zers or millennials. Like, you're a Gen Zer, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm on the cusp.
You're on the cusp. But what do you tell them? I mean, because sometimes it's really hard to look at what's going on in the world and have hope. Is that partially why you run?
Yeah, I think it's important that we motivate our youth in the city of Milwaukee. And, I think with having people in the office who look like them and can represent them well and show them, different avenues that they can take in life is important, and it matters. And, that's why I always tell kids when I'm talking with them or when I'm working with them, like, hey, you can be just like me one day. I was in your shoes before. I had the same experiences. I'm an MPS graduate, so I think it's just super motivating to let kids know that, they have opportunities that they can take in life.
Join us February 16th at 5 at the Bavarian Beer House for our Be a Voice Gala. Join us for a spectacular night as we gather to highlight the efforts and future of our community. Visit wisconsinvoices.org to learn more.
Please join Wisconsin Voices every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. We will be focusing on community partnerships, voter education, and long-term collective impact for all Wisconsinites.
You're listening to Wisconsin Voices Be a Voice Radio. Follow us at BAWI Voice and learn more at wisconsinvoices.org.
You will be able to meet all these people on Friday, February 16th, 5 to 9 at the Bavarian Beer House. Get your tickets. We are almost booked. We're almost sold out, but we really want people to come and enjoy what we're it's dressed to impress.
And what's the color?
It is black, gray, and purple. Now, when Nicole told us these colors, I was like, whoa. I was like, but the first 50 people that show up, they get a little special treat. We have no, you got to be there. But again, go on our website, wisconsinvoices.org. Scroll down a little bit after you see our 3 pillars, which is protect democracy, build community, and teach advocacy. You will see our podcast information, and then right smack in the middle, you'll see our gala information. We're gonna have a trivia question, so get ready. 414-444-5250. And which one should we ask? I got a couple of them. So where is if you can tell me 2 early voting locations in Milwaukee County, 2 early voting locations.
We just mentioned one today on the show.
Don't give them no hints. See, Joe, you so soft-hearted. You always so soft-hearted. Give us 2, and then we'll give you an extra something if you can name 3. 414-444-5250. What's the prize?
So they know what they are pushing for.
Well, we're going to give them that special package that we're giving our first 50.
Oh, that's so cool. You're going to love it.
So it
Got
is.
2 callers.
We do.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Caller. Hello?
Yes. Midtown, Washington Public Library, and Zyder Building.
Well, we gotta take. You said that with equipment. You wasn't playing. With authority.
Every year.
You vote every. Do you
2018.
do you vote early, or do you vote you like to vote early, or do you like to vote on election day?
I vote early. I've been voting for 48 years early.
Okay, I'd love to see that. Well, we're going to get your name. We're going to take one more caller because they came in right at the exact time.
So who we talking to?
This is Patrick Walker.
Oh, that's Peppermint. Okay, I got it.
Well, how you going to give somebody a nickname?
That's my big brother.
Oh, okay.
In the neighborhood.
I don't know, but I got to find out.
Everybody in the city knows. All right, hold on, boss. Don't go nowhere. I'm going to get your info.
Now, did you hear those answers? Caller?
Say Midtown and Washington Park Library.
Hello? I can't hear you. What's your name?
Break it up a little bit.
It's Mark.
And what are the, give us some, I didn't hear it. What did he say?
The Washington Park Library.
Okay. We're going to give it to you too, because we really want to make sure that people know where to go, where they vote, how they vote, they can figure out who they want to vote for. We want to just make sure that they have all the information they need.
Do you like to vote early, or you like to go on election day?
To vote early. To the one.
Oh, good. And just remember, you can still get your ballots mailed to you Just contact your county clerk. It is so many different ways you can vote. You don't even have to leave your house. All you got to do is get it mailed to you, vote, put it back in the mail. It's so many different ways.
Well, hold on, caller. We're going to get your information so you can get your prize.
There's a lot of excitement about trying to get people to vote and wanting to vote. This election is the first part. We're going to do the primary. Then the general is April 2nd, but that's also the primary for presidential. Then we'll have a primary for August and then the general for November. And we may have a special election for some areas in the Senate 4th district, depending on when the maps come out. But we need to energize. We need to actually stand up and say, you know what? This is our time. This is where we're going to make our voices heard. We want you to pledge to vote. Have a plan. If you can't vote early, make sure you have a plan. Like, what time am I going to go on election day? What time? Who am I taking with me? Do I need anything to get there? So have a plan, because it doesn't matter how you do it, what you do, have a plan.
Thank you, Mika. That's and what we call it is a vote plan. Because on election day, all type of things can happen within those 12 hours that they allow you, 13, that they allow you to vote. So, and work, children, household situations, anything can jump off. So make sure you have your voting plan and a backup plan. That's what the plan is make sure you have a voting plan and a backup plan so you can vote on election day.
And just real quick before we get up out of here, I just want to say that for everybody, because it's all, I have a passion for the youth. I love, and we all three of us do. But making sure that if you have a 17-year-old right now who is at the house with you, looking in your face, or whatever case may be, they're changing, they're going into that voting age. Make sure we get in contact with whoever is a guardian, or if you're a parent and you listen to this right now, make sure that you're getting your 17-year-old ready to vote this year if they're turning 18 anytime soon. We need these youth to understand the importance. A lot of the things that will be affecting them, a lot of the stuff that they cite in the law, some stuff is just getting put into action that you see across the country. So they have to be aware of what's going to be coming against them in the next 10 to 15 years. There's a lot of things that we've seen signed in front of presidents that have been out the office and probably won't get into action. So sometime for them to be aware of civics, and I know Tamika is pushing civics strong, and I think a lot of changes in laws is going to be coming. It's going to be important for them to know about that. And I do want to shout out to one of our listeners right now, Mr. Uncle T. Terrace Adams. Hopefully you're coming to the gala, sir, since you're listening. Make sure you get that ticket. We want to see you there. So shout out to my uncle down there working hard.
we really are pushing this because we have a great time. We do last year we had a lot of fun, and that was our first one, and we were just trying to maintain, but it was a great time. If you want to sign up for the Civics 101 class, or it's a presentation, I wouldn't necessarily call it a class. The next one we're having is February 24th at Youth Pathway at 421 West Keith Avenue. It starts at 3:00. What we would like you to do is go on our website, click on Civics 101, and you can sign up, and we'll give you all information that you need to just be there. It's about a 2-hour session, just really wanting you to know the basics of what you need to do. Again, that's WisconsinVoices.org. Click on the Civics 101. All this information that we talk about on our radio show and anything is right on our website.
a voice.
Be 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 a voice.
Visit WisconsinVoices.org.
Visit WisconsinVoices.org.
Visit WisconsinVoices.org
And learn more on how to be a voice with Wisconsin Voice.